More jobs straight from the source. Log on and open doors. EmploymentCrossing.com.
Hi, my name is Harrison Barnes. I'm the CEO and founder of Law Crossing Legal Authority, Attorney Resume, law firm staff, numerous other companies in the legal industry that do nothing but get law students and attorneys jobs. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is how to get a job as a law student. And this topic, I believe, is, probably one of the most important topics that you can listen to. If you've taken the time to go to law school and you've taken the time to, try to learn about this industry and you're going to look for a job, this topic is really going to make a difference, because how you go about searching for a job and the actions you take and the things you do are really going to make a huge difference in the quality of job that you ultimately get. There's a couple things that I want to tell you about first, and I think you really need to understand these because it's important. And one of the things that you need to know is that in many cases you're actually really very much on your own when you start searching for a job as a law student. Your school is there and they will give you certain advice, but the work that you're doing is really got to come from you, and it has to come. It has to be things that you do, and there are things that you can do that I'm going to tell you about right now that a lot of people aren't going to tell you to do. And what I'm going to tell you is, some of the most important things in terms of how you're going to get your job. Very, very important things that you need to understand. So the first thing is when you're searching for a job, whether or not it's in your first year of law school or your second year of law school, or even your first job for after graduating, what you need to understand, and that a lot of people don't really understand, is that the most important thing for you is to get yourself out there to as many potential employers as possible. In no time in your career are you really going to have the luxury of applying to, in some cases, hundreds or even thousands of potential places to work. Whether it's law firms you're interested in or government offices, you need to really get yourself out there. Law schools typically won't tell you this because they do not want everybody, say you're in, Charlotte, North Carolina, and there's thousands of law firms in North Carolina, and you apply to every one of those law firms. All the law schools in North Carolina aren't going to tell you to do that, because if every student did that every employer would get flooded and no one would be able to stand out. Law schools typically want to be able to feed, certain attorneys or law students to certain employers. So the first thing is you really, really need to get yourself out there. And getting yourself out there to as many employers as possible is something that works. I went to University of Virginia Law School, and I'll tell you, the jobs that I got through mass mailing. We had a great on-campus interviewing program, but I mass mailed my resume, and it worked. Okay, I got a job great job in Los Angeles. I got a great job. Great jobs all over the country using mass mailing, and that's something that really is against a lot of the law firm's advice, or law school's advice, to do that mass mailing. But I know it works because I've done it. And mass mailing, it's not necessarily mass mailing, I guess I'm talking about, it's targeted mailing. But when you use targeted mailing to apply for a job, you're really giving yourself a major kind of advantage in tons of respects. I've seen students from like Thomas Cooley Law School. I've seen a lot of students from there do mass mailings and move to Los Angeles. I've seen students from schools in Florida do mass mailings and move to Denver, move to Oregon, and all these different places where small schools or schools that are typically national law schools are able to do these things and get great jobs. And it works if you're going to a number one type law school too, like a top 10 law school. It's just something that actually works. And when you get out into the market, a lot of people tend to be very skittish about doing mass mailings because they don't want all the employers to know that they're looking, or they may be employed while they're looking for a job. And but this is just a great opportunity as a law student to do it, and it's something that you really need to do. Now, how do you go about doing it? You can do it yourself if you're looking at law firms. Typically what you would do is you'd have to look at, Martindale is a good source, but there's also firms that aren't Martindale because it costs money. Basically, every firm in a geographic location that you want to work at that matches your practice area, and it's a certain size you want to work at, and it's better to be over-inclusive rather than under-inclusive. There's some firms that are 10 people that pay more than Am Law 100 law firms. So you really need to, make sure that you're being inclusive in your search. Another service that I recommend, or a way of doing it, that I believe is the most effective, is called LegalAuthority.com. That's a company that I started, but it's also was kind of, it grew out of a need that kind of happened where, actually I used to be a law professor where I helped a student, use the service or do that type of work to get a job, because that was how I got a job. And he was from the law, was like the number 1 or 2 student at the law school I taught at, and had a hard time finding a job when he graduated. So the point I'm trying to make to you is, when you start doing when you do a targeted mailing, it's really something that's really going to work, and it does work. Good service for that is Legal Authority. And just a couple things, I recommend when you do your search that you look around where you are, but I also recommend that you look in other areas geographically and outside your state, and because
in today's job market, over 85% of specialized jobs are not advertised. Recruiters don't know about them. Job boards don't post them. But they're out there, waiting to be found. If it were possible, the single most effective way to find new opportunities would be to personally contact every employer for the jobs you're interested in. Welcome to EmploymentCrossing.com. Not your ordinary job site, but a revolutionary way of gathering and sharing new job information with motivated job seekers like you. Employment Crossing has the largest collection of industry-specific jobs in the world. The secret is in our innovative business model. Our diligent research team scours virtually every online and printed source daily, finding job openings from thousands of employers nationwide. We continuously monitor the hiring needs of more than 250,000 employers, including corporations, firms, organizations, and government agencies. We then categorize these jobs by geography, company size, experience requirements, and other criteria, and then deliver them to your fingertips. Unlike other job sites, we don't charge employers to post their jobs, and we aggressively contact thousands of them each day to be the first to learn of their new positions. As a member of Employment Crossing, you'll have access to an exclusive collection of new job postings every day. Never again will you find yourself using public sites where you're likely to be one of thousands competing for the same position. Our research team and hundreds of data servers are dedicated to finding the jobs you want today. In 2007, Inc. magazine ranked our affiliate, LawCrossing.com, number 72 on its 500 list of the fastest growing private companies in the U.S. Featuring the largest collection of active legal jobs in the world, including more than 80,000 positions at top law firms, the success of LawCrossing.com mirrors our commitment to providing the most comprehensive job service to date. And we're more than just a job site. Once you sign up, you can use our advanced search function to customize and save your job searches. You can also take advantage of our web tools to receive instant job alerts, subscribe to our top-notch industry newswire, get tips on creating the perfect resume with our resume toolkit, and use a personalized mail merge tool to contact prospective employers. At EmploymentCrossing.com, we're proud of our proven system, and now we want it to work for you. To help you get started, we'll give you a free 7-day trial so you can experience the benefits of our comprehensive job service. Sign up today. EmploymentCrossing.com, the largest collection of jobs on earth.